Yeah, okay, ZA time. Who we getting? Oh, great. Is it gonna be multiple megas? Yes. All three. More armor king, witch, ninja. Who'da thunk it? I worry this means these are all the megas they're going to reveal before the game comes out. I guess it makes sense that Raichu would have two, just to join Charizard and Mewtwo. Okay, the first one was cute, that one's weird. Is that it? Okay, at least there's art. Really cool looking art. Okay, yeah, but why is it stupid looking? So on the one hand, I'm not just rushing a video about one new Mega, but 5. But on the other hand, they do seem to be on the simpler side of Megas, you know? Like Manectric or Blastoise. Much simpler than Alakazam, Absol, and Malamar. Though even the more drastic ones, honestly, are still just the Pokemon again, only more. That's kind of the vibe of all Megas. Mega Greninja, for instance. Its body shape had always resembled the stereotypical Shinobi Shizoku that ninjas wear in media, and now it's just black. And even more like that. Though funnily, while black is the most common color for ninjas in media, dark blue was more common in real life. So this is just even more of a cartoon version. Real ninjas typically wouldn't go sleeveless like Greninja's new color implies either, but arguably the most famous ninja in video game media, somehow I just forgot Naruto existed, Ryu Hayabusa, does do that all the time. And even has the black gauntlets on his forearms, like Greninja's color here. Even has the more fantastically exaggerated Hachigane and squiggly scarf, just like Greninja. Oh yeah, a Hachigane is the sort of samurai and ninja head armor that Greninja has much larger now and in Cyan. Greninja is also upside down now, dangling from a magically spinning water shuriken that doesn't spin itself. That's some ninja skill. Ninjas hide in the shadows, you know. And in the olden days, before electric lighting, that often meant hiding in the building's rafters, and either jumping down or sliding down a rope slowly to do their assassinating and then sneaking off. I feel like I say this every time ninjas come up, but our modern idea of a ninja never existed. Like, ninjas were real, just not in the way they're most commonly depicted these days. And you could say Greninja going Mega puts it even deeper into the fantasticalization of the ninja. Big ninjutsu floating shuriken and all. Similarly, Delphox is even more of a witch now. Default Delphox always mixed witch and Delphic oracle elements, the latter being the psychedelic future seers in ancient Greece that later got rebranded into witches as Christianity spread and banned their practice, leading eventually to the classic burning witches at the stake, and thus Delphox's fire typing and association with sticks. Or, for a more innocent explanation, the sticks are magic wands casting fireball spells, yay! But why not both? But now it's your classic witch riding a broom, with the big flame resembling the broom bristles. Notably, the idea of witches flying on brooms is a French one, the first use of it in a French poem from 1451. As for the two floating fire sticks, much more recently than the 1400s, Japan got a bit obsessed with the idea of anime witches, and would commonly depict them in shoot-'em-up games where they would be given two helpful spirits alongside them to help cast extra spells or shoot extra shots. The bullet hell Toho being the example you're most likely to know. And notice the two extra spells circling around her and helping her fire at the blob of magic bullets. Mega Delphox gaining a lot of these darker, more flowy bits just falls in line with the stereotypical witch dressed in raggedy, unkempt, dark clothes and cloaks and all that. It helps get across their evil, child-eating ways. At the same time, though, the shoulders and long, middle white fur give it a bit of a wizard vibe, just a more sophisticated and intelligent vibe. And the long double beard is an interesting choice. Wizards are often depicted with long white beards, but that, along with the larger ears and especially the larger ear fluff, could make its whole head resemble a 10-pointed star, a decagram. Stars are often associated with magic after all, and a star with 10 points in magic can be a symbol representing the balance between the spiritual and earthly worlds, completeness and a triumph of spirit over matter, which could be seen as a sort of ultimate goal for witches and wizards. Anime witches especially, given their whole "I'm 3,000 years old but I look 10" trope. You know, they mastered spirit over matter. They're immortal now, practically. That whole trope, that delicious, delicious trope, that is not problematic in any way. Chesnaught now was always a big armored paladin, defense-focused holy knights. Or at least that's what paladins have become. Paladins were French knights who specifically protected Charlemagne and his court. They did get fantastified over time, even quite a bit back then. They sort of became King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, French edition. But at least Charlemagne was real, and arguably the most important king in the early Middle Ages. King of the Franks, which are the Old French. He's worth bringing up because Mega Chesnaught seems to add some kingly, or at least royal elements into its design. The bigger beard, the big royal red robe, gold fingers, and the crown-shaped knight helmet. Plus, Charlemagne is one of those kings who's commonly depicted wearing armor because he was cool like that. And even Mega Chesnaught's new weapon seems to pull from Frankish history. While we don't get to see much of it in these trailers, and what we do see is definitely cartoony, it appears to be vaguely inspired by a battle axe, which is also fitting of it being a grass type since axes are used for cutting wood. But the Franks famously loved axes, so much that they practically gave them away, even to their enemies. Franciscas were throwing axes and became a characteristic national weapon for them. Just, you get an axe, and you get an axe. Okay, give me that back. Now I gotta clean it. Funnily, I remembered that fun fact because of Age of Empires 2. Thanks, Age of Empires 2. I know lots of history thanks to you. Mega Chesnaught's chest fluff looks a bit like scale armor too, doesn't it? The more common type of armor in Charlemagne's time. Notice how instead of the usual messy looking natural fur that's just kinda, you know, fur, it's broken up into distinct rows. You could say those rows are more reminiscent of the rows on chainmail and scale armor. Very cool. And lastly, two Mega Raichu. Mega Raichu? Joining Charizard and Mewtwo in the Cool Kids Club. We should have always expected this, honestly. Oh yeah, and of course the mascot Pokemon had to be direct with its X and Y forms. X makes an X shape with its ears and tails, and Y makes a Y shape with them. But also, a lot of Mega Pokemon will bring back something from previous evolutionary stages, such as the wool on Ampharos, and the wings and tail from Dragonair on Dragonite, the Pupitar face on Mega Tyranitar, and more. And each of these Raichus are bringing back different parts of Pikachu. Mega Raichu X obviously bringing the Pikachu tails and body cheek color, whereas Mega Raichu Y is bringing back Pikachu's ears and body shape. At first, I thought the tail too, but no, it has the big tail before it emboldens at the end. So while it does blend the two of their tail designs, it is leaning a bit more onto Raichu here. Also, Mega Raichu X has that one tooth. That's an anime thing, right? What was it for again? Ah, right, it's the cute little fangs, Yaiba, or snaggletooth trope. It's often used on anime characters to show that they are spunky, mischievous, or playful. Sometimes bordering on bullying or being mean, but rarely is that their intent. And those teeth being paired with the cute angry eyes? Yeah, this Raichu is up to stuff! Very determined, yet very playful. Does X not have fingers? I mean, a lot of Megas do also lose something when they Mega Evolve, so I guess Mega Raichu X just doesn't get to grab anything anymore. Oh, what? Non-Alolan Raichus never had them? But also, Raichu is almost exclusively inspired by Jerboas, which are obligate bipeds. They are physically incapable of using their front legs or arms for running. So maybe now it's just that aspect of them has been taken to its extreme too. Can't really use its front arms for anything beyond just bopping. Now, Mega Raichu Y. More like Mega Raichu Y. Does it have tails growing from its head in front of its ears? I mean, it's growing on me a little bit, but it looks silly. Oh, is it like a jackalope? The Pikachu line were always a little more generic rodent small mammal with elements from many, and jackalopes are a cute little cryptid small mammal thing. Ultimately, it's just a rabbit with antlers. Looking at Mega Raichu Y and Jackalope side by side, yeah, I think that's what they were going for. But now it's time for an unfortunate fun fact. The idea of a jackalope may have come from a rabbit infected with the Shope papilloma virus, which gives rabbits keratinous growths on their head and face, and most often it's not pretty. And it also renders them kind of slower, and it's harder for them to avoid predators, so they don't live much longer after this. But if a rabbit had some of these gropes on the top of its head and someone centuries ago saw it, maybe they think they were antlers. And maybe like a unicorn's horns, those antlers have power charged in them. And so the hunt for the jackalope was on. And those are all the new Megas introduced in the last Nintendo Direct. All of them a bit more exclusive than other Megas, because the Raichus are both in the DLC Adventure Mega Dimension, and the Mega Kalos starters are to be given out as rewards for seasonal online ranked battles. I don't mind that personally, probably just because I don't really care one way or the other for Megas. If anything, I'm not a fan, but I'm curious what the general reception of this is going to be. So let me know your thoughts down below. Never stop using your noggin, and I'm gonna go back to bed now.